Mr. Kim Yo-gyeon really is man who have such a brainless women triggering everyone quiet down as the man defend by your side against thousands of troops. Why would he came here at this moment? Yo-gyeon looked helpless. He was talking politely, but at the end he was the one who got blamed. Instantly his expression changed. Two handsome men faced each other. One had extremely mocking gaze as his cold gaze landed on the girl's face. For some reason, that girl felt bad. You were pulled behind the man. Compared to the man's tall figure, you were small and petite. Everyone would be dissatisfied if outstanding man protect the simple girl. She wanted to defend herself but couldn't talk. No one can defeat this man. No one can afford to offend this person. This man has certain power to dominate on his own way. At the end, Yokyum was threatened by Jungkook. If someone even tried to touch this woman, Jones group director gonna face the situation and deal with his own. You didn't seem to like him taking out entire Joan group. Yogyum apologized behalf of girl and explained the situation. He took a glance at the women behind. One more look and I will dig out your dog eyes. Yogyum immediately looked away. You didn't know why he's doing this and why he suddenly appeared here, but all you know is he's protecting you. Did he follow you along the way? Then didn't he see the situation and the embarrassment of yours? Furthermore, you heard him speaking fiercely made you speechless. It's your fault in the first place. You subconsciously reached out to pull his sleeve. His body was full of hostility, but the woman's little action made him turn around. Mr. June, this matter has nothing to do with you. I can handle it myself. You spoke in a low voice, which was pleased to hear, but he sneered. Is this your way of dealing with that kind of women to make trouble for you? Many people who known Jungkook for long was observing the cold man who never been close to women in the business circle was actually protecting a woman and even speaking gently. It was really something that people wanted to gossip about. He didn't let you handle. He make it clear to the other party that Joan Group will handle this matter. If anyone try to make things difficult for you, they will face the consequence. He picked up your phone. As the result, other party won't be getting single penny. You were speechless. You couldn't refuse, but you didn't want to have any unnecessary relationship with him. If he helped you like this, wouldn't you own him? Looking at you solving your anger, he frowned at last. He didn't give them any faces and directly picked you up. You didn't expect this and subconsciously wrapped your arms around his neck. What? What are you doing? Put me down. Lee Minho, he called out coldly. Minho was hiding in the crowd as a guest immediately reacted. He felt that he had hidden himself very well, but now could he be discovered? Hurry up and come out to deal with the scene. Jungkook's voice sounded like it has penetrating power. Minho realized that young master was already angry and didn't dare to pretend and came out quickly. Young master, in fact, he had just come here not long ago. Plus, he couldn't see women's face where he stood. He just wanted to know which women made Jungkook fall in love recently. Now that he was in front of Jungkook, he clearly saw the person in Jungkook's arm, clearly making his eyes widen in disbelief. What are you standing there for? I will leave this for you. His cold voice finally brought the shocked man back to his senses and nodded. Yes, I will take care of it, young master. He took the person away without caring whether the person agreed or not. He bent down and put you in a car. Only then you reacted and was about to speak. He glanced at you sharply. If you want to say that you want to go back, it's impossible. He slammed the door shut and sat on the driver's seat, leaving speechless. Even after 5 years later, was this person still so domineering? You subconsciously glanced on his legs. In the past, when he was sitting in a wheelchair, his aura was no weaker than others. Now that he stood up, his aura was even more oppressive. You pursed your lips and looked away. Forget it. Just take it that I owe you a favor. He stopped moving. After a while, he seemed to have thought of something. There was a deep meaning in his eyes. He owed you a favor. Huh, that's not bad. In the future, if you need any help, Mr. John can ask as much as you want, as long as I can do it. Anything. His eyes became scorching hot as he looked at you. Your face instantly heated up and gritted your teeth. It's only for work. I'm afraid I can't help you in private. Anyway, he suddenly came close to you. This is what you owe me. I will get it back. He took a deep breath. You leaned back to the door. What does Mr. John need my help with? I will tell you when I think about it. He turned the steering wheel and drove. You frowned. What about your car and phone? When you thought about Lee Min-ho's ability, you didn't ask anything. You knew Min-ho pretty well. This person could stay by Jungkook's side for so long, so his ability to do things could be said to be one level higher. You believe that soon your things will be in your hands. You are relieved and leaned against the seat, looking outside the scenery. You didn't expect to meet him after returning to the country, and the being your client was far away. It's all like a dream. You're afraid that you would have to meet him frequently in the future. Clearly, you plan to stay away from him even if you saw him. You would be pretending to be a stranger, but the current situation was not under your control at all. What should you do? Go to your company? He suddenly asked, making you come back to your sense and noted. Yes, I still have things to take care of my company, thank you. Ride was quiet. After 15 minutes, he stopped the car in front of your company. I have something to do. Go up yourself. He looked at you wickedly. Your action of unbuckling seatbelt suddenly stopped. What did he mean? Could it be that he would accompany you up if he had nothing to do? You didn't intend to let him up together in the first place. Boy, dream on. Are you cursing me in your heart? You quickly get out of the car. Thank you, Mr. John, for sending me back. Be careful on the way. You smile, kind of mocking way, and turned around to leave. He couldn't help, narrowed his eyes, but ended up laughing softly. A cruel woman. It seems that your daily basis was well taken care by your brother and the best friend. Jenny knew your emotions better, and she don't let you stay dull for a moment. In these 5 years of friendship made you both understand each other's habits and skills very well. You couldn't hide anything from her. You were thinking very deeply since afternoon he drove you off. Tell me the truth. Did that John Jungkook did something to you? Speaking of Jungkook, you remember what he said to you in the afternoon. He said that he is married, but he also did something strange to you. He even no, you immediately denied and quickly diverted the topic to work. Clothes are almost ready. The first design product is very valuable, so that have to mark the designer's name and give her proper credit. You need to be calculative to each things. Later, after work, you and Jenny take a bus to return home. You had not squeezed through the bus in many years. It was really inconvenient for you to take the bus in high heels, especially during peak periods like this. So that time you and Jenny keep smiling in embarrassment. Next day was weekend, so you slept soundly till late morning. It was rare for the weather to be good and you were free. So you planned to take Rovon to see school. If Rovon liked that school, you would let him stay there for a week to see how it was. Mummy, are we really going to school today? Yes, he couldn't help but raise his head while you are tidying up his clothes. Then, Mummy won't leave me in school today, will you? He hugged your waist pitifully. You patted his head and said that you just bring him to see school to make environment familiarize. Obviously, he didn't seem to like going school here. He used to go in kindergarten overseas and he's smart kid. You thought that he didn't want to leave your side. That's why he's sulking. You coaxed him and went to have breakfast. After eating, Sokjin drove you and Jenny with Rovon together. Jenny is still in her embarrassing moment, being around to your brother. Rovon is actually shipper of his uncle Sokjin and Aunt Jenny. Even you think if she be your sister-in-law, it would not be bad, but the hard thing is Sokjin himself. This man in front doesn't seem to acknowledge his own emotions. After driving car finally stopped in front of school, it was private and the teaching quality is good. You also took a fancy to this school. Moreover, it's close to your company. Teachers are happy to see this little boy who talk politely and nicely, and the mother of child is beautiful. Well-known family background, they're looking in awe. Well, the Kim family's people are all good looking and child is obedient. After talking with teachers, you and Sokjin roam around as Rowoon and Jenny went to look at classes. Brother, what do you think of Jenny? You suddenly question from now here. He didn't understand what you mean but answer. She's nice girl. He rarely praised people. When you heard him say, you instantly felt that there might be a chance as you moved closer and whispered, really? Then will brother consider such a girl? He stopped and narrowed his eyes and looked at you. This sister of his had suffered too much, especially when you were in the Yu family. Later, you were found to marry into the Joan family by the people of the Yu family. In short, your previous life has been full of twists and turns. Therefore, he blamed himself and did all kinds of things to make up for you. He never cared about his feelings. Firstly, he really wanted to focus all his attention on you and your child. Secondly, he really didn't care much about his feelings, and there were no girls that gave him any special feelings. Therefore, he felt that it was good to be single for the rest of his life. However, it was obvious that his sister had other thoughts. You smiled cheekily. Do you have any better thoughts? Looking at your this face, he couldn't help but patted your head. You covered your head and pouted. Finally, you showed your little attitude in front of this elder brother. Don't worry about these things. If I don't worry, then do you have a heart to worry yourself about it? He frowned slightly and think of something. Speaking of this, I think of the person I wanted to introduce to you. If you don't like them, then I have appointment you to someone. He Your expression changed. Brother, let's talk about this. I want to see Roni's classroom. And you escaped from the situation. He sighed deeply when he saw you running away. Ever since that incident 5 years ago, you had always been against men, not to mention introducing blind dates. Even when men chased after you abroad, you had never been moved. If you are really be single for the rest of your life, then as a brother, he will be looking after you for the rest of your life. It was just that it will be good if you won't have father. Sarang? Jenny suddenly ran towards you with her phone, indicating that you got call. She passed the phone to you. You saw the caller's name and frowned. Why did this person look you calling on her phone? For what? I'm not sure either. The number was saved when we signed the contract earlier. Hurry up and pick it up. You don't have your phone with you. That's why he might be asking Jenny if he wanted to find you. You indicated her to drag your brother away with Rovon and took her phone before answering. A lazy male voice came from other end of the phone. Why did you answer so slowly? It was indeed him. You almost burst in anger but held back. Mr. John, what's the matter? Where are you now? I will get someone to pick you up. You were stunned for a moment. What do you mean? Have you forgotten? You frowned. Did you forget what I said to you in the office yesterday? You thought about it carefully, about merriment? I know, but Mr. John, it's 10 in the morning. Are you sure you didn't make the wrong call? What is it? He drank a water as his deep voice sounded like clearer now. You are not up yet? You expressed the anger. Today is the weekend. If it's convenient. It's not convenient. He directly rejected. I want to see you now. It made your mind sway and temples hurt. Tell me the location and I will personally pick you up. Mr. John, it's not hard to know where you are now. He chuckled. Are you sure you're not telling the location? You took a deep breath. Please send me the address. I will take a taxi there now. You hung up the call? This man, he did it on purpose. That's right, but you don't want him to investigate about your current whereabouts, especially when you were with Rowoon. You didn't want Jungkook to know about Rowoon's existence. That's why you compromised. You restrained your emotions and informed your brother that you got work suddenly and excused yourself. Jenny chased after you. What's going on? Jungkook asked you to go over. You shrugged. She's angry. Then, if you leave, won't there be only me and your brother left? That would be so awkward. You're amused. Doesn't that suit your heart? If you both are be alone, there will be many opportunities. You patted her shoulder. Do your best. I have faith in you. Wow, Sarang, you are too much. She gritted her teeth as she teased by you. Phone vibrant, signaling that you got text about location and you waved phone to her. All right, I have received the address. I need to rush over now. Rowoon and my brother will be depending on you. Lend me your phone for now. She pouted. Got it. You get into the taxi and turned on the phone to see address and your face turned cold. Hejung Villa, this was the place you stayed 5 years ago. When you read these words over and over again, everything that happened 5 years ago was like a tsunami that surged into your mind. It collided and then exploded. Miss, driver called you, making you back to your sense. Where to? Driver asked, little worried. Hey Jangvila. You told him the address. After that, you stayed completely silent and looked outside in a daze. Hey Jangvila. Why did he ask you to go there? Because you had stayed there before, so he decided to call you there. That way he can humiliate you. Your expression turned colder. Even driver in front felt strange. He glanced through the rearview mirror. After an hour, car arrived at the villa. You paid and got out of the car. 5 years had passed, and the people guarding the entrance of the Hejung villa had changed. All of them were very unfamiliar. You got near the gate. Who are you searching here? You coldly looked at them. Moon Company's designer Eva. I have an appointment with Mr. John to come over today to discuss matters. They looked at you suspiciously. We didn't receive the notice. Could it be that you are mistaken? You raised your brow. You will know when you go in and ask. I will wait here. You stood to the side. Your calm manner was completely different from other women who usually wanted to have relationship with Jungkook. Looking at your cold temperament, one of guard immediately went in. The wind by the sea was very strong. You looked very quiet. Your long black hair was not tied up, that blown by the wind. That drew a beautiful arc in the air, and the casual outfits of yours. Guards came after 10 minutes. Miss, our young master wants you to go in. Thank you. You walked in. Some guard wondered why suddenly a woman came here. They never saw any women coming here. Isn't young master never be close with any women? No woman has ever stepped foot in. Who said he isn't close to women?